Guess How Much I Love You by Sam McBratney and illustrated by Anita Jerman is a great book. It is perfect for families, and we said especially for a bedtime story. It would be great for parents or family members to read to their children because it is such a sweet book and it leaves the child just feeling so happy and ready to go to sleep.
And we thought that the images and the illustrations were very, very strong, especially in the fact that they're all watercolors and then they're actually inked over the top of the watercolors. And you can see a lot of detail from the images, such as this one in the rabbits. You can see the shadowing, the forest all behind. And then some of the ones during the nighttime are also exceptionally beautiful because you can see the sky going off in the distance along with the landscaping.
And this is very well written. The author uses a lot of repetition words with the names of the characters of Big Nut Brown Hair and Little Nut Brown Hair, and the repetition of I love you this much. And the repetitions just build from the past, like I love you this much, and Little Nut Brown Hair says, and then Big Nut Brown Hair will say, well, I love you this much and more. And that's the theme throughout the book.
And overall, we thought it was a really good book. It's directed towards younger children, but it's a book that a lot of people, no matter what your age, can pick up and really connect to, especially with having a good, strong guardian figure or parent figure in your life that's really looked out for you. And it's just one of those warm, fuzzy books.
And our personal connections with it, I did not read this as a child, but reading it now, I really enjoyed the book, and it left me just feeling happy and wanting to read it again, and it's definitely something I would read to young children.
And for me, I grew up reading the book, and in first grade it was my absolute favorite. My first grade teacher actually sent it to me, which was kind of cool, and I had my parents read it to me all the time. So it was really good reading the book again, and I know it's something that I'll really want to read to my kids as well.
So parents, go out and buy this book for your kids.
Yes.
Guess How Much I Love You.
It's great. Guess How Much I Love You by Sam McBratney and illustrated by Anita Jerman. Little Nut Brown Hair, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hair's very long ears. He wanted to be sure that Big Nut Brown Hair was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said.
Oh, I don't think I could guess that, said Big Nut Brown Hair.
This much, said Little Nut Brown Hair, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go.
Big Nut Brown Hair had even longer arms. But I love you this much, he said.
That is a lot, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. I love you as high as I can reach, said Little Nut Brown Hair.
I love you as high as I can reach, said Big Nut Brown Hair.
That is very high, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. I wish I had arms like that. Then Little Nut Brown Hair had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. I love you all the way up to my toes, he said.
And I love you all the way up to your toes, said Big Nut Brown Hair, swinging him up over his head.
I love you as high as I can hop, laughed Little Nut Brown Hair, bouncing up and down.
But I love you as high as I can hop, smiled Big Nut Brown Hair, and he hopped so high that his ears touched the branches above.
That's good hopping, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. I wish I could hop like that. I love you all the way down to the lane as far as the river, cried Little Nut Brown Hair.
I love you across the river and over the hill, said Big Nut Brown Hair.
That's very far, thought Little Nut Brown Hair. He was almost too sleepy to think any more. Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes, out into the big, dark night. Nothing could be farther than the sky. "I love you right up to the moon," he said, and closed his eyes.
"Oh, that's far," said Big Nut Brown Hair. "That is very, very far." Big Nut Brown Hair settled Little Nut Brown Hair into a bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him good night. Then he laid down close by and whispered with a smile, "I love you right up to the moon and back." The end.
Yay!